So the take-home point from today's passage is not, in fact, do not sleep with your mother-in-law if that's what you're tempted to do, although it does say that, and you shouldn't be doing that. If that's what you're doing, you should stop. The take-home passage, the take-home point is really to do with hypocrisy. What Paul is addressing is the fact that there are a whole load of, in the Corinthian church, there were a whole load of people who were doing things they shouldn't have been doing, whether it was sexual sin, which he's referring to here, or whether it was being greedy or worshipping idols or whatever it might be. They were in the midst of the church doing these things. And what's even worse than that, is that they were proud of them and they were boasting about them, and no one was stopping them or standing up to them or saying anything. And he says you need to expel this person. He uses really strong language about how you've got to deal with something like that. And that sort of thing can jar with us a little bit, but then you look at the person of Jesus, and one of the things you see in Jesus is he deals really strongly with those people around him who claim to be religious but are in fact really hypocritical in their souls and in their spirits. And Jesus goes for that. He hates hypocrisy. God hates hypocrisy. And what I love about this is Paul isn't saying here don't associate with people who get stuff wrong. He's not saying avoid everybody in the world who messes up, because he says you'd have to leave the world if that was to be the case. And we know that Jesus hung around with sinners all the time. He was drawn and attracted to sinners. But what he is trying to emphasize is there is a point where when you've followed Jesus and when you've given your life to him, then you should begin to change, and there should be that process of growing and maturing into the likeness of Christ. And one of the ways that happens is that when we sin, our fellow brothers and sisters will come, hopefully in love, it should be in love, and they should say, hey, I just seen that you've done this, Andy, wasn't sure about that. Just seen that you've kind of messed up in this area. You really need to grow. And when people do that to me, my initial reaction is I do not like them one bit. And then after I calm down, usually I'm grateful, because I need my brothers and my sisters in the church to help me grow into Jesus' likeness. And so do you. So in the local church that you're in, let's not turn a blind eye when stuff happens, because that's just what we do in our culture. Let's not judge anyone, but let's challenge in love that we might genuinely be a community that is set apart and that is different.